Hi, I'm Ashley. Welcome to my review and walkthrough for Grammarly. I'm going to be taking you through my opinion on how Grammarly functions, as well as showing you, kind of under the hood of what Grammarly can do. All right, let's dive in. So the first thing we're going to look at is using their web application. This is the one where you go onto the Grammarly website and you can upload your documents, which is pretty much what I'm going to be doing here. Now, this part does have pretty much like the most functionality, I guess you could say. You're going to be able to do your plagiarism checking and your citation checking here, and that sort of thing. Whereas when you are going to be looking at Google Docs and in Word, those little mini apps is what I think of them as. They don't necessarily have those type of functionalities. Okay, so first is once you have your document uploaded, you can set goals for your for this particular piece of writing. Okay, whether you want that to be, you can check out what the domain is. Are you going to be, super casual? Is this like a creative piece or maybe something more academic? Your intent, you can, kind of let them know, like, is this an informative piece? Are you trying to tell a story? You have a lot of customization options here, which is wonderful for making sure that, do you need to be super strict with grammar? So like for an academic paper, or can you be a little bit more casual and creative? Now from here, using Grammarly is super easy. One of the first things that I want to kind of point out too is if you look at the top right hand corner, which is now kind of doing like the little circle right there, it has an overall score. This particular piece has of 87. This kind of gives you an idea of how much needs to be fixed. And for your purposes, you can kind of set a goal for each of your pieces that you want to make sure you hit. Otherwise, that just kind of tells you, out of a scale of, 1 to 100, how you're kind of doing. I hate to say grade because that has such bad connotation, but it's kind of what it is. So there are a couple things that I really like about the way that Grammarly is set up. It's really user-friendly. As you can see, there's suggestions for changing, different things like correctness or clarity. They're all color coded, so you can really drill in and see which ones, even at a glance, inside the text itself. It's pretty much the same across any platform that you use Grammarly on. So whether you're in Google Docs or in Word, it's pretty much going to show up the same way. So you can look at the suggestions that Grammarly makes a couple of different ways. As you can see on the right side of the screen, there is the list, if you will, of errors that are in the document, or you can click on the underlined text inside the document itself, and then you would just click whether or not you want to implement the change that it wants to implement, okay, or that it's suggesting. So changing that is super easy. Now, if you look on the far right side of the screen, underneath kind of where I had the score was, you'll notice that you'll have like all suggestions there. This is literally all the different types of suggestions just thrown in there all together. But you can actually go in and click on each of those different headings, if you will, of suggestions. So right now I'm in engagement, and you can choose to just only look at the problems that your piece has with engagement, or you could just look at clarity or correctness or any of those. You can really drill in. That way you're not kind of overwhelmed with all the problems, which is kind of nice. I just like not being overwhelmed, and it lets me, pick and choose what I look at first. So the biggest feature or plus of the premium subscription is the Plagiarism Checker, and it's really only available in the web application. So if you wanted to check plagiarism, you've got to upload the document and add it in there, and it will do it for you. All you had to do, of course, as you saw, was I just clicked on Plagiarism Check at the bottom right of the screen, and it started to do its magic, and then it showed me exactly where, by underlining exactly where the problems with plagiarism were, highlighted them for me. You could even click on, of course, the little list that it has. That way you can, go directly to the issue and then fix it. Now, let me also add here as well, for those who are, have students in their lives that need help with citations and that sort of thing, Grammarly also in the web application through the premium subscription will actually check the citations for you and kind of keep track of that and help you out with it. All right, so I have stacked both Word and Google Docs on top of each other just to show that they really work the same. If you can use the web application, you're going to know exactly how to use the other extensions and the browser extensions and the Word extensions and that sort of thing. It's a pretty seamless process. The only thing that it would not check for me was plagiarism, and I don't believe I could get it to check for citations, but that's easy enough. If if you know that ahead of time, you can just upload it into the web application and then look at plagiarism and citation checking there. But otherwise, most of the time for me, just doing, editing blogs and that sort of thing, using the functionality in either Google Docs or the Word extension, then it works just fine for my purposes. Another thing that carries over from the web application that you can do in both Google Docs and Word is you can actually zero in on the different little error headings, if you will, your correctness, your clarity, etc. All of those little things, you can really drill in and just look at those specific headings rather than having them all. So that's a super handy feature. Now, the last thing that I will say that is different between these two, and it's not super huge, but it is something I would like to bring up, is that in the Word application, you're not really able to set your goals like you can in Google Docs or in the web app. So make sure you kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so just some closing thoughts on Grammarly. This is just one of those tools that I have used really since I was an undergrad, and it has just been an integral part of my editing and writing process, whether that's been for essays, creative writing, or blogs and articles and that sort of thing. It has kind of been with me everywhere, and using the premium version for me is just a no-brainer. It always, it seems to catch a lot of the things that kind of just slip under my radar for whatever reason. So it's nice to feel like I kind of have backup. But if you're using it just for something like emails every so often, then I think you could get away with just using the free version. But if maybe you're a student, you're an editor, or you're a writer, maybe you are new to the English language and you just want a little bit more help making sure that your emails or anything that you write is polished, definitely check out the premium version. You will learn a lot, which ultimately helps you make fewer mistakes. In any case, definitely check out the companion review that goes along with this on DDIY, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much.